It's nice that the rain is on its way out eventually.
It has been rough just looking at all the ponding on the sides of roadways and just how it affects your mood.
Yeah.
You know, just the damp and the dreariness and the grayness that's been out there the past several days. We will eventually flip the switch as we get into the afternoon. Wanted to start with a look at our radar out there this morning. This is the loop over the past hour or so. And as you can see, we're not quite done with that rain just yet. In fact, we've had a pretty steady rainfall across the northern tier of the state as this whole storm system pulls off to the northeast. We've got some of these light lingering showers that are still floating through the metro and throughout the southern tier of the state. But give it a couple of hours. Really think most of this is going to start to wrap up. With that being said, we do have an ongoing flood warning for counties south of the I-70 corridor. That will be in effect through 10 o'clock this morning. And where you see those squiggly lines there, those are our local rivers, the White River, the East Fork White River, the Wabash, where we have ongoing river flood warnings for an extended amount of time because of all of this rain that we have. That will be ongoing for several days. We will keep you updated on when we see those rivers crest and eventually start to fall. In the past 24 hours, Indy has picked up 1.5 inches, nearly 5 inches for the monthly total, putting us in a 2-inch surplus. So we are headed into the spring months here with extra rainfall, which is not a horrible situation to be in, but we would just prefer it not all come at once, that's for sure. Here's the bigger picture as we've got this area of low pressure spinning its way just north of St. Louis. Much colder air on the northern extent of that storm system. We are still on the warm side of things, which is why we are getting our morning started with some areas of fog, some light showers still out there, and temperatures that have been pretty moderate. Over the next few hours, as we get on the backside of that storm system, we're going to see that temperature gradient, that pressure gradient increase, which means we will see that wind increase. That's why the National Weather Service has already issued this wind advisory that will be in effect for most of central Indiana through 5 o'clock today. So let's break down the timeline of all of this. This rain will start to exit this morning. Temperatures will be a little elevated during the first part of the day. In fact, that's when I expect us to see our high temperature for the day in the mid-morning while we sit on the warm side of this weather system. Once that cooler air starts to take over, the wind will increase this afternoon. The sky will gradually clear as the rain pulls out, but that temperature will start to drop in the afternoon. Here's the latest timeline on all of this. Want to break it down between now and about 11 a.m. Still going to see a lingering shower out there in the morning. Taking you into the afternoon is when we'll start to see that sky gradually clearing and that much cooler air arriving. Most of us can be hanging out in the upper 30s by the time we get into that 6 o'clock hour tonight. And then that clearing will continue to take place. This is around 10 o'clock this evening with mostly clear skies during the overnight. Tomorrow will be a warmer day, a very typical spring-like day as we've got a weak wave that's going to come through. We'll rebound back into the upper 50s with some sunshine, especially in the morning. Check this out though. A stray shower will be possible. This is around 10 a.m. Then the sun comes back out. Temperatures recover to near 60 for a high on Sunday. Again, a stray shower going to be a possibility. Not a big deal here. As we get into Monday, this unsettled pattern continues. So once again, I do anticipate there being a few showers around to get the day started on Monday. We'll call it morning showers, a high of 55. Tuesday will be the coolest day of the week as we fall to 48, but then we recover nicely back to the 50s and even into the low 60s by Friday.